Seniors, avoid this pill. It causes dementia. Margaret had been taking the same little pink pill for her allergies for 15 years. Her doctor said it was perfectly safe. Last Tuesday, at exactly 3:17 p.m., her daughter found her standing in the kitchen holding a coffee mug, unable to remember how to drink from it. Everyone says these medications are harmless. But what if the very pills sitting in your medicine cabinet right now are quietly stealing your memories, one dose at a time? You've trusted these prescriptions for years, but today, I'm going to show you what that trust may have cost, and more importantly, what you can do about it before it's too late. But here's the part no one tells you, but as you already know, Dr. Fine will always say the truth, no matter how bitter it is. Some of the most commonly prescribed medications for seniors carry a hidden risk that most doctors never discuss. I'm Dr. Fine, and for 40 years, I've watched the pharmaceutical industry market medications to seniors with promises of comfort and relief, while burying the fine print about cognitive decline. Today, we're going to talk about a class of drugs that millions of seniors take daily, anticholinergic medications, and the mounting evidence linking them to dementia and memory loss. Your brain isn't just forgetting, it's being chemically suppressed. Think of anticholinergic drugs like putting a dimmer switch on your brain's electrical system. Every time you take one of these medications, you're turning down the brightness just a little more. The scary part? Most people don't even realize they're taking them. These aren't just prescription medications. They're hiding in over-the-counter sleep aids, allergy pills, motion sickness tablets, and even some antidepressants. The names might surprise you: Benadryl, Tylenol PM, Dramamine, and dozens of others sitting innocently in medicine cabinets across America. Have you ever taken a medication and felt like your thinking was just cloudier? Maybe you blamed it on getting older, or stress, or not sleeping well. Maybe you never connected the dots between that little pill and the fact that words started escaping you more often, or that familiar faces began looking unfamiliar. If that's ever been you, leave a comment. Your story might save someone else from walking down this same dangerous path. The research is staggering. A 2019 study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 284,000 people for more than a decade. What they found should terrify every senior in America. People taking anticholinergic medications had a 50% higher risk of developing dementia. 50%. That's not a small statistical blip, that's a life-altering increase in risk. There's one specific ingredient that appears in over 600 different medications, and I guarantee it's probably in your medicine cabinet right now. I'll tell you exactly what to look for in just a moment, but first, you need to understand why your doctor might not have warned you about this. Before we continue, I'd like to remind you that this channel is like a family. We don't just share information, we share the truth that might be difficult to hear elsewhere. So, as you watch this video, feel free to comment. If something I say reminds you of a medication you've been taking, a memory issue you've noticed, or even a conversation with your doctor that left you with more questions than answers, please share it. Your experience might help someone else recognize the warning signs. You've been told that taking a sleep aid every night is safer than lying awake. But what if I told you that chronic use of these harmless over-the-counter medications might be more dangerous than the occasional sleepless night? The drug companies don't want you to know this, but your brain's acetylcholine system, the very network responsible for learning, memory, and attention, is being systematically disrupted every time you reach for that purple pill. The most common culprit is diphenhydramine, and it's everywhere. It's the active ingredient in Benadryl, Tylenol PM, Advil PM, Unisom, Zizquil, and countless generic versions. Walk into any pharmacy, and you'll find this chemical masquerading under dozens of different brand names, all promising relief from allergies, insomnia, or cold symptoms. Here's what your doctor isn't telling you. Anticholinergic medications don't just affect you while you're taking them, they accumulate. Think of it like carbon monoxide poisoning. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but it builds up in your system over time until one day, the damage becomes undeniable. Dr. Shelley Gray from the University of Washington, who led groundbreaking research on this topic, discovered that people taking the equivalent of just one Benadryl daily for 3 years had a significantly increased risk of dementia. 3 years, that's not decades of abuse, that's less time than most people keep the same smartphone. Before you take any medication tonight, do this. Grab every bottle in your medicine cabinet and look for these ingredients: diphenhydramine, chlorpheniramine, hydroxyzine, meclizine, scopolamine, or any medication ending in amine. If you find them, don't panic, but don't ignore this either. Ask yourself, am I taking this because I truly need it, or because it's become a habit? If you've been using sleep aids for more than a few weeks, your body isn't just dependent, it's forgotten how to sleep naturally. The irony is cruel. The medication you're taking to help you sleep might be stealing the very cognitive function you need to enjoy your waking hours. You are not a number. You are not a case study. You are a person whose memories, whose stories, whose lifetime of experiences deserve protection. And there are alternatives, safer, more effective ways to address the underlying issues these medications are masking. They say you're too sensitive if you question medication side effects. But maybe you're just too wise to accept that trading your memories for temporary relief is a fair exchange. Maybe you've lived long enough to know that there's usually a better way. You just have to be brave enough to ask for it. Let me give you real alternatives that don't come with the risk of cognitive decline. For sleep, melatonin, magnesium, valerian root, or simply improving your sleep hygiene can be remarkably effective. For allergies, nasal saline rinses, local honey, or newer antihistamines like loratadine, Claritin, that don't cross the blood-brain barrier as readily. For anxiety, because let's be honest, that's what many sleep aids are really treating, consider chamomile tea, meditation, gentle exercise, or talking to a counselor. Your brain doesn't need to be chemically subdued to find peace. Here's something I wish I had understood earlier in my career. Sometimes the most important thing a doctor can do is help you stop taking medications, not start new ones. For 40 years, I've seen the pharmaceutical industry convince doctors that there's a pill for every problem. But some problems, like occasional sleeplessness or seasonal allergies, don't require chemical solutions that compromise your cognitive future. The most dangerous words in medicine are "everyone takes this." Your brain is not everyone's brain. Your life is not everyone's life. Your future is not everyone's future. You have the right to ask questions, to demand alternatives, and to refuse medications that put your cognitive health at risk. When your doctor suggests an anticholinergic medication, ask, is there a non-anticholinergic alternative? If they seem surprised by the question, that's actually a good sign. It means you're advocating for yourself in a way that most patients don't. If you're currently taking any of these medications, please don't stop cold turkey. Sudden discontinuation can cause rebound effects that are uncomfortable and potentially dangerous. Instead, work with your doctor to gradually reduce the dose while implementing safer alternatives. Remember that ingredient I mentioned earlier, the one hiding in over 600 medications? It's diphenhydramine, and now you know to look for it. But more importantly, you know you have choices. You always have choices. You've survived decades, wars, illness, loss, economic uncertainty, family crises. Your mind, your memories, your wisdom, your stories deserves the same fierce protection you've given everything else precious in your life. So the next time someone says, just take this, it's perfectly safe, you ask, safe for whom, for how long, and what are my alternatives? Your cognitive health is not negotiable. Your memories are not disposable. Your future clarity is not a fair trade for temporary comfort. If today's video gave you back 1 ounce of control over your health, or even just made you think twice before reaching for that sleep aid tonight, leave a comment and let us know. Share this video with someone you care about, because chances are, They have these medications in their cabinet too. Thousands of others are already part of this growing seniors daily family, learning how to live stronger, longer, and with their minds intact. Subscribe now, turn on the bell, because the next video might answer the one question that's been keeping you up at night, and I promise the solution won't require a pill that steals your memories. Remember, your brain has carried you this far. It deserves your protection.